Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, Senator Byron M. Baer, Open Public Meetings Act.
We can take a moment of silence to keep people in mind. Commissioner Capizol, will you everyone rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Pearson? Here. Commissioner Musso? Here. Commissioner Capizola?
Here.
Commissioner Saleo?
Here.
Commissioner Lodes? Here. Deputy Director Romero?
Here.
Director Albrecht?
Here.
We're going to have the presentation.
We're gonna do a we're gonna do a presentation. We have a person kind of giving up a role she's really pulled things through. She was head of the library board. Mary Moore Stubbs, actually, how I got introduced to her, basically, it was a person that called me and I could feel right away that she was dedicated to this, to the library and its success, and I was not going to stand in its way no matter what. So, and actually, in many ways, I'll just say is that, and I'm going to read a statement from her too. She knew exactly what needed to be done. And she made sure she implemented that and made sure she pulled everybody along. And I'll say this, and Commissioner Pierce will probably back it up. That's probably one of the best boards as far as looking at what has to be done and actually getting it done. I'll just list real quick. Is the major construction was at the time of the library. It was changed to become more user-friendly for kids. It attract teens. During COVID, it tried to reach out and have hotspots in places to make sure kids have access to digital technology. We're still working on how to perfect that. That was pushed through during that period of time. And as we've grown, we've hired a new director from that. And Mary Moore Stubbs was actually really the person that just said, let's keep plugging forward, moving forward to get this library, and there's a lot of things off of that. So let me read, I'm going to read the first our proclamation, and then I'll read a statement that she wants to convey to us. And so this is the County of Cumberland proclamation, saluting Mary Moore Stubbs on her retirement. Whereas Mary Moore Stubbs has served on the Cumberland County Library Commission Board since 2009, position of secretary, and Ms. Moore Stubbs has become the vice chair, and in 2013 began serving and currently serves as the commissioner chair. Whereas Mary Moore Stubbs has been a longtime member of the New Jersey Association of School Librarians, and whereas Mary Moore Stubbs has performed her duties with dedication and diligence and has been an exemplary employee during her career with the county. Now, therefore, be proclaimed by the Board of Commissioners of the County of Cumberland as follows: that the Cumberland County Board of County Commissioners, on behalf of the citizens of Cumberland County, salutes and commends Mary Moore Stubbs on the occasion of her retirement and wish her many happy and healthy years ahead. I don't know if I should say this, but she said to me, expressed, and I'll actually, let me read her statement, then I'll say one more thing. Let's make sure she doesn't cover it in here. So, this is, Mary Moore Stubbs can't be with us tonight. She actually is heading because she's expecting a grandbaby, and she's down there to take care of the toddler while they're doing their thing. And so she regrets not being here because I think she would get a kick. I hope she's online with us. So. Dear Cumberland County Commissioners, I'm sorry I'm unable to attend the work session for the Cumberland County Commission meeting. I've had some family obligations that prevent me from attending. I would like to thank the Commissioners for allowing me the opportunity to serve in Cumberland County as a Library Commission member for the last 14 years. And when I first moved to Cumberland County in 2007, I embraced the community and saw the many needs that the Cumberland County had, and when the County Commissioner Pepitone asked if I would like to serve on the Library Commission, I saw that as a chance to give back to the community. The community service is an important fabric of any community, and I'm grateful for the faith that the County Commission gave to me to assist my community. I think of years of turmoil that the county library not only survived, but is now thriving and expanding its service to the residents of Cumberland County. Even during these difficult times, the library never lost its focus and mission to serve the residents. I am now thankful for the leadership at the library and our director, Jennifer Schulman-Brenner, and the staff that she has been able to track the work of the library. They are all committed to service to the residents. I had an opportunity to spend some time with them a few weeks ago at the New Jersey Library Association conference, and they were buzzing with ideas for the library. It was encouraging to see their desire to further broaden their outreach. I will miss working with the library staff, and I'm thankful for their commitment. I'm also grateful for the support of the County Commission and Director Doug Albrecht, who's always looking for new ways the library can deliver resources to help the county. Thank you to the many commission members and the library liaisons, too many to name. Cumberland County will also hold a special place in my heart, and I'm sad to leave Cumberland County. But I'm sure I will not forget Cumberland nor the library, and will continue to support both. Thank you for the opportunity to serve my community. Mary Morris Stubbs.
Director, I was just told that she is on virtual, so she can hear you if she wants to speak.
Mary, if you would like to see, I've already said the words you've given us, but if you'd like to just comment further, or you're more than welcome. So, and thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve. I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but I lead the library and the Library Commission in good hands. So thank you.
You're welcome. Always straightforward, professional, and always had the right direction in mind, which is perfect. So I hope you heard the proclamation we sent. We'll get it down to you. Do any other commissioners have any comments at all? We just happen to work with them more, so experience.
I think you pretty much said it all. The proclamation says it all. I know I had the opportunity to work with Mary over the years, off and on. I'm a frequenter of the library, and it's a wonderful place to be. The people there, the staff that's been amassed, the director, Jennifer, everyone. And Mary, I think you've done a wonderful job guiding all of that and encouraging that development and all of that. You will be missed, you really will. And please, all the best to you and your family.
Good luck, Mary. I appreciate it, and I think the library is working in the right direction, and we'll hope to make you proud when you come back to visit us. Maybe come back. All right, I thank you. All right, we'll move on now. There are public comments on any resolution. We have to. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
What's that?
All in favor? Any member of the audience would like to come up, please, and if there's online, we'll get to you. Just state your name, where you're from, and whatever. You have 5 minutes.
Sandy Acevedo, Upper Deerfield Township. I just wondered if you could give some explanation on these, some of the resolutions. The first one is number 29, ID number 14312. I guess, and 13 kind of goes with it, I believe.
That's the work we're going to look at.
Let me find it myself here.
Excuse me, take that one.
Yeah.
So under the Workforce Development Department as it stands is funded primarily through the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Recently, we've been made aware that there needs to be a clear separation of those that are governing and represent the Workforce Development Board and those that are in operations that are doing like the career services. So if somebody were to supervise both activities, it would be non-compliant with the grant in terms of that person. There's like a little bit of conflict. So you can't supervise both functions. So what we're trying to do is just separate it, no longer have it as a department, so that in our organizational structure, the same person that supervises both activities isn't the same person as the opposite. So there's really no change in how it's going to really function or operate, just as long as that person at the top doesn't supervise both activities.
That's been in the notes here
if you want to.
I stole your thunder, I'm sorry.
No, you did a great job.
Would you like to continue speaking to that
It's
issue?
been,
Sure, if is that okay? So under the United
so you gotta
States.
come up.
I'm sorry.
The people online.
Good evening, everyone. So in 2014, the United States Department of Labor has a governance ruling, and it is the law. So back in 2014, all of the workforce development boards are the governing body over the operations. However, the operations needs to have a separate entity so that they can produce and operate all of the work activities. So the Cumberland, Salem, Cape May Workforce Development Board, what we are is we are policy and oversight over all of the funds for Cumberland, Salem, and Cape May. And that's a governance ruling, so it is the law. So now we are in compliance as of once this all passes.
That I was just gonna say, we haven't been in compliance, and this is to get us in compliance, so.
And what about the next one, 313, is that part of that?
It's just housekeeping, so like she can't hold a department head title if there's no department, so she would be a division head instead. So the division of workforce development, her title would just reflect that with the title. I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Answer your question, all right?
Number 31, ID 14314. Do we have
Well-
replacement, or how's that going to work now?
Well, how do I say this? The bottom line is that we have an agreement with them that they will be our project manager and also do construction management. It's been in place, and we have it out, which is we're exercising. And what we're going to do is well, we have other ideas that we would like to go out and explore the market when we have a project. So we're willing to bid. We'll work with them, but but right now we're going to look.
So that's just on the capital projects and not
It's every
do they
project.
still do the economic development?
They still do the economic development, so we haven't moved that.
That would no longer obligate us to use the CCIA for all capital projects and pay them 5% of each capital project. Doesn't mean that the board may not choose to allow the CCIA to bid on an RFP in regard to a capital project, but we will not be obligated, as the county has been for the past 5 years, to use the CCIA for all capital projects.
Okay, 5%. So it eliminates the 5%. And possibly,
Well,
Yeah.
yes. It
possibly,
doesn't mean that we have to use them and that we have to pay them 5%.
Somebody needs to mute.
Could someone mute their phone, please? Whoever's not muted, could you mute your phone, please? Thank you.
Number 60, ID number 14348, the sonar moratorium.
Well, you know what's been going on up in the state of New Jersey. There's kind of
You've been muted.
there's
To unmute yourself, press star
there's
6.
there's been a movement that there's questions of what's going on with the solar, with the wind power out there and the solar testing. So also we're asking, just like any prudent activity, to let's see if it's accurate.
There's a lot of drama on all of this thing.
Somebody that's not here to phone, that's why they're overheating probably.
So there's a movement afoot that actually I thought we should join that to see.
I think they're muted.
Just repeat that, no, I didn't hear what you said.
Well, there's questions about the sonar testing, and there's a movement to kind of stop and see if that's affecting the recent deaths of whales and dolphins on our shoreline. So, yeah, I thought we should be part of that. I think the commission should be part of that.
I'm not familiar with the movement. What movement?
Well, they've been having meetings along the shore for, I guess, the last 3-4 months. That the idea that the sonar actually it's been along our bay too. The sonar testing to see the depths of the ocean or the bay to put windmills, and that is there's been whale deaths and dolphin deaths. We don't know, or we do know that we don't know if it's been caused because of these testing, and so we just want to take a pause to find out. So there's more tests.
So there's been whale deaths along the bay? Is that what?
Along the shoreline.
Yeah, there's been whale and dolphin deaths all along the
The Delaware?
southern New Jersey coast. Yeah, so what we're saying is, what this bill is saying, we're just doing a resolution in support of it, says that, please pause and put a moratorium on what's happening with sonar that's being used to explore, to see if the ocean bed is solid enough to put these windmills, and all the testing to see where they can go, to study if that's what's causing all of these whale deaths. And there's some whale species actually that the level of deaths that might occur from this sonar actually would extinct some of those species. So we're just saying we're supporting this bill to say, please take a pause, moratorium, and explore what is causing all the whale deaths before we make forward.
I've had people call me to complain, they're on the bay, our bay, and they can feel the sonar when the sonar is being used, like the testing. That's
So
how
the sonar
loud.
is actually going down into the ocean bed to see if it's solid enough to be able to hold the support of the windmills that are proposed to go out there.
Okay, so this is a preemptive, or not a preemptive, but a more of a.
It's not saying that we're against the windmills, it's not saying that we're against green energy, it's just asking for a moratorium to explore what is causing all of the marine deaths.
And there was a person who came in April in the meeting and requested that the commission consider doing this.
Yes, correct.
I think also too that there is, just as Commissioner said, there is concerns that just don't know what's causing all the deaths of the whales and there are other mammals as well. So in order to provide something about perhaps the vibrations, perhaps the unsteadiness of the ground. So people are requesting just to hold up, do a study, and see exactly what's creating the havoc with nature. It could be, it might not be that, but they just want to take a deep breath and see what's going on.
Yeah, and I think, I'm not sure of the number, but in the last several months down the shore, my friends down the shore, there's been over 10 plus that they found on the beaches.
I think it's around 38.
Yeah, that was a few months ago when we talked.
I do a lot with the charter fishers they could use the ratings to use less steel. And they're not even sure what kind of repercussions they're going to have. Charter fishing, commercial fishing, there's a numerous amount of things that could be a drawback right now to the wind turbines. So just taking the pause and looking at this particularly is just put a pause on the sonar geotechnical structure of what they're doing through the ocean floor. That's all this means at this point in time.
Ground-based, you never know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
On number 14341, on the disciplinary settlement matter, are we able to discuss that yet, or not yet? The $70,000 settlement?
53.
14341.
14341, number 53.
Okay, so that's litigation, and that's, we did discuss that, so, I'm sorry.
Number 14307. The life worth living is being reduced by $60,000. Can you explain why?
What 14307?
14307.
14307, number 24.
So I just want to point out so that resolution that appears every month, there are contracts that, like if it ended May 31st and all bills have been paid, that's the balance that they wouldn't have spent down. And realistically, I think we only do it to the contracts are over, so whatever balance is left, it is what it is. But we do a formal resolution just saying, hey, these vendors had these contracts are over, this is the balance left over, and it's really just for the benefit of the public to know.
Cancel the excess liability.
Yeah, because ultimately it's done, but we're really just showing like, hey, we had these contracts awarded by the board, and not all of them were spent 100%, so we're just formally canceling that. It's expired. I don't know what the program is off the top of my head, but I can find that out for you.
This has to be just one more question. That's it.
That's all I have.
We're perfect, it's perfect time.
14310. Is that to pay for medications, or is that some type of medication for rehabilitation purposes?
That's the MAP program for the jail. So we get $400,000 every year that we go towards, and I'm speaking outside my wheelhouse on what it actually does. But
We have to provide that to our inmates. So.
yeah, so if somebody comes in off the street with like an opioid addiction, there has to be some sort of treatment that we provide.
But it's money coming from the federal government that's being added to our county budget.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of have to leave.
And this is not a question, this is just an observation. On 14339, in the third paragraph, you say that the money could be used to retire. Would that not be a requirement of it, or not necessarily? The money can just come back to the county and they can use it for whatever they want?
It's not for retired debt. It's money they collected, and now the state collects it. It was always traditionally towns and counties would collect this and use it for what they needed. But the state took it over, and they took it over, and then they were supposed to return it back. They never had. They just took the money and threw it into the state budget. This is asking to go back the way it used to be. The towns can use their own money, collect their own money, and use it their own.
Yeah, no, I get all that. I guess just the word could be used.
For tax relief, well, it could be.
But it could be used for other things as well. Is
For
that-
the benefit of the citizens that they collect the money from. So,
Thank you.
this, anyone else would like to come on up? See no one? Anyone online or on the telephone would like to ask a question? To state your name and where you're from. All right. Hearing nobody, can we go into the? Could I have a motion and a second to close the public? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, you want to go to consent?
Resolution 2023-390, resolution authorizing a deed between the County of Cumberland and the City of Millville conveying property located at 10 and 20 Buck Street, Block 418, lots 1.01 and 1.02 on the City of Millville tax map. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Capizola?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albrecht?
Yes.
Resolution 2023-391, resolution authorizing payment of bills. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes, and I sent an email today for,
Commissioner Capizola?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albrecht?
I have to abstain from 3, 9, 5, 7, 8, 7, and yes. Okay, going to review the agenda for meeting on June 27th, which will be held in Down Township. So, go ahead.
Resolution 14256, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for providing licensed mental health counseling services for the Cumberland County Alcohol and Drug Abuse Office. Resolution 14262, resolution authorizing agreements between the County of Cumberland and the participating municipalities for the administration of the Municipal Alliance grants to prevent alcoholism and drug abuse for the contract period July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. Resolution 14263, resolution approving budget amendment Children's System of Care CSOC/CIACC program, $36,874. Resolution 14264, resolution authorizing renewal application with the New Jersey Department of Human Services Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services for the Substance Use Disorder Fee for Service Network Initiative for SFY 2024-2025. Resolution 14265, resolution declaring the equipment on the attached list used by the Division of Social Services as surplus and unneeded property and declaring it e-waste for CCIA recycling. Resolution 14268, resolution awarding contract for supplying and delivering drainage pipe and materials for the Cumberland County Department of Public Works, bid number 23-18. Resolution 14280, resolution declaring 3 HON brand legal size metal vertical files used by the Board of Taxation as surplus and unneeded property and authorizing the Department of Public Works to dispose of them as scrap metal. Resolution 14284, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract to provide annual software license warranty fees for the Board of Elections as per NJSA 40A:11-5 1DD. Resolution number 14286, resolution approving budget amendment FY 2024 Veterans Transportation System, $15,000. Resolution approving budget amendment Clean Communities Grant FY 2023, $213,001.22. Resolution number 14288, resolution authorizing purchase of one John Deere model MH60D mulching head with accessories for the Department of Public Works under cooperative contract vendor ESCNJ Coop number 65MCESCCPS, contract number ESCNJ 22/23-12. Resolution 14289, resolution authorizing purchase of 2 New Holland Workmaster 75 cab tractors under New Holland Sourcewell contract number 110719-CNH-2 for the Cumberland County Department of Public Works. Resolution number 14290, resolution authorizing application and grant agreement with the South Jersey Transportation Planning Organization for sub-regional transportation planning grant. Resolution 14292, resolution declaring one 2005 Dodge Durango 4-wheel drive, VIN number 1D4HB38N15F593874 as surplus and unneeded property and authorizing transfer to Upper Deerfield Township for $200. Resolution number 14293, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract to provide ArcGIS software maintenance annual renewal for the Cumberland County Planning Department. Resolution 14294, resolution authorizing grant application and acceptance of the FFY 2023 Emergency Management Assistance Agency Assistance Grant. Resolution 14295, resolution authorizing application to and grant agreement with NJ Transit for transportation funding for elderly and disabled residents. Resolution 14296, resolution declaring one Xerox printer, model Phaser 6180, one HP LaserJet printer, model 4250N, and one HP LaserJet printer, model 5000N from the Office on Aging and Disability as surplus and unneeded property, and declaring it e-waste for recycling by the CCIA. Resolution number 14297, resolution declaring one 2016 Chevy Impala, VIN number 2G1WA5E3XG1136098, asset number 8699, as surplus and unneeded property, and authorizing transfer of title to Lawrence Township for $100. Resolution number 14299, resolution declaring one 2018 Ford Fusion asset 8818 and one 2015 Chevy Impala asset 8615 as surplus and unneeded property, and authorizing the transfer of title to the City of Bridgeton for the Police Department for $100 each. Resolution 14303, resolution authorizing renewal of the annual plan for the Cumberland County Alliance to prevent alcoholism and drug abuse for FY 2024. Resolution number 14304, resolution authorizing application to and acceptance of grant funding from the Attorney General's Office for the state fiscal year 2023 Governor Phil Murphy budget Operation Helping Hand Grant Program. Resolution 14306, resolution authorizing purchases from state contract vendors. Resolution 14307, resolution canceling expired contracts for June 2023 covering materials, services, and supplies. Resolution number 14308, resolution authorizing assignment of all contract negotiations involving PBA 396 to the firm of Blaney, Donahue, and Weinberg, PC. Resolution 14309, resolution authorizing a sub-grant agreement with the Cumberland County Improvement Authority Clean Communities Program. Resolution 14310, resolution approving budget amendment FY24 Medication Assisted Treatment Initiative, $399,914. Resolution 14311, resolution authorizing approval of the Cumberland-Salem Cape May Workforce Development Board local plan. Resolution 14312, resolution authorizing the elimination of the Department of Workforce Development and creating the Division of Employment and Training and the Division of Workforce Development Cumberland-Salem Cape May Workforce Development Board. Resolution 14313, resolution amending Resolution 2023-52, appointing at-will employee. Resolution 14314, resolution authorizing notice of non-renewal and termination of the agreement with the Cumberland County Improvement Authority for Capital Projects Management dated August 1st, 2018, and rescinding Resolution 2018-353. Resolution 14315, resolution correcting Resolution 2023-191, resolution authorizing grant application to the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General for sub-grant under the FFY 21 Victims of Crime Act grant program. Resolution 14316, resolution authorizing shared services agreement between the County of Cumberland, Division of Employment and Training, and Rowan College of South Jersey for the South Jersey Healthy Living and Financial Wellness Program. Resolution 14317, resolution in support of passage of legislation S-330 to restore energy tax receipts to municipalities. Resolution 14318, resolution authorizing application for renewal of the County Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services Grant Program contract number S00042. Resolution 14319, resolution authorizing application for renewal of the Child Protection and Permanency Grant Program contract number SF0170. Resolution number 14320, resolution approving budget amendment, alcohol and drug abuse services grant program, $62,910. Resolution 14321, resolution approving budget amendment, FY 2024 Child Protection and Permanency Grant Program, $300,000. Resolution number 14332, resolution authorizing a shared service agreement with the Millville Housing Authority concerning public safety communications infrastructure located at J.C. Plaza. Resolution 14323, resolution authorizing contract with ESCNJ Cooperative Contract Vendor for turnkey digitizing of 1940-1959 mortgage books, 1913 through 1923 deed books, and 1800 through 1950 naturalization index books for the county clerk's office, contract ESCNJ 22/23-11. Resolution number 14324, resolution authorizing purchase from the national contract vendor for one John Deere model 85G excavator with various accessories and warranty for the Department of Public Works under source well number 011723-JDC. Resolution number 14325, resolution authorizing shared services agreement with the Commercial Township for resurfacing of a county-owned roadway and within Commercial Township. Resolution 14326, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of Brown, Clark et al. Versus Charles Warren, U.S. District Court, docket number 1:20-CV-7907. Resolution 14328, resolution declaring various military vehicles from the Sheriff's Office as surplus and unneeded property and authorizing the sale via GovDeals online auction or another public auction. Resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for providing of video recording services for the Cumberland County Commission board meetings, RFP number 22-15, resubmission. Resolution number 14330, resolution approving budget amendment FY 2024 sub-regional planning work program, $82,560. Resolution 14335, resolution approving budget amendment FY 2024 Alliance to Prevent Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, $142,142. Resolution 14336, resolution approving budget amendment FY 2024 Alliance to Prevent Alcoholism and Drug Abuse, DMHAS Youth Leadership Grant, $25,158. Resolution 14335, resolution authorizing grant application to and acceptance of the New Jersey Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services Youth Leadership Grant for the Cumberland County Department of Human Services. Resolution 14338, resolution authorizing purchase from the New Jersey State Contract Vendor for Clear Proflex 24-month subscription for the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office. Resolution in support of passage of legislation S 3906 that would provide property tax relief to all towns and counties within the New Jersey allocated from the New Jersey Debt Defiance and Prevention Fund. Resolution 14340, resolution declaring various office furniture and equipment as surplus and unneeded property and authorizing the Department of Public Works to dispose of the said property. Resolution 14341, resolution authorizing settlement in the matter of Janiqua Days disciplinary appeal filed for Janiqua Days, State of New Jersey, Office Administrative Law, OAL docket CSR 00906-23. Resolution 14342, resolution authorizing purchase from New Jersey State Contract Vendor for two 2023 Chevrolet Express E6 cargo vans with inmate transport uplifting for the Cumberland County Department of Corrections in accordance with various state contracts. Resolution 14343. Resolution authorizing purchase from New Jersey state contract vendor for 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo four-wheel drive base vehicle for the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office in accordance with state contract. Resolution 14344, resolution amending Resolution 2022-575, authorizing application within New Jersey Department of Children and Families Division of Child Protection and Permanency for open purchase substance abuse services contract. Resolution 14345, resolution authorizing purchase from New Jersey state contract vendor for 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe Police Patrol Package 4x4 for the Sheriff's Office. Resolution 14346, resolution authorizing purchase from Sourcewell National Contract Vendor authorized distributor for Wayland Uplifts for 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe Police Patrol Vehicles for the Sheriff's Office. Resolution 14347, resolution correcting Resolution 2023-134, Prosecutor's Office, resolution authorizing grant application from the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General for a sub-grant under the FFY 22 Stop Violence Against Women's Act grant program. Resolution number 14348, resolution in support of Senate Resolution 120 urging an immediate moratorium on sonar testing and wind turbine mapping off the coast of New Jersey. Resolution 14349, resolution approving budget amendment FFY 2022 Stop Violence Against Women grant program $51,090. Resolution 14350, resolution approving budget amendment and change in title and text FFY 21 Victims of Crime Act grant program $469,715.
Just one correction. The vehicle, the Durango, Dodge Durango, is it Upper Deerfield or Deerfield is supposed to get that?
What number is
That's number
14.
14. Okay. Deerfield for their animal control, I thought.
I'll look into that. I don't know off the top of my head.
Because I know we gave Upper Deerfield a vehicle last time, so I thought this was to help them with their animal control.
This one is Deerfield for animal control.
This one, that's what I thought, that's what we talked about.
I'll follow up on that and if it needs correction for
See,
next
you
week.
gotta, instead of Upper Deerfield, I think it's supposed to be Deerfield because they asked for a vehicle or animal control. That's, I don't know if you do that, so you guys do that. So, all right, check on it. Do we have a problem either way? Can we approve it?
We'll have to change it for next.
Change it?
Yeah, just change
Okay.
the wording on that
Okay.
for 2 weeks from now.
All right. Does anyone, I guess we start, John, do you have any ones you want to pull?
Public comment.
Well, I just want to talk about a couple of things that had to do with the car stuff, just making sure we're purchasing from local vendors when possible. Yeah, just those kind of things.
Okay, do you want to pull it off the consent agenda to talk about them?
It doesn't need to be pulled off, but we can discuss.
Okay, Ms. Musso, you want to?
Yeah, just I guess the next ones that are all pending, we'll pull them.
Oh,
They are
actually, they're
Okay.
automatically pulled. We're going to do that for now on.
Okay,
If
I
they're not
thought-
in there, we'll pull them.
That's all.
Ms. Pearson?
No.
So,
Resolutions as to vehicles, the Tahoes, 14345, 14345. That one.
Yes, 57.
you're pulling it off for the sake. If you're not, I am, so.
And then there's 14342, the D6 cargo vans.
I understand, my
Sorry,
question
what
is
is
Have to be pulled off for us to talk about?
No, we're actually we're getting out of consent agenda because they're voted on automatically. If you want to talk about it, we'll take them off consent
I
agenda.
just want to, my question is, I just want to make sure that we're offering, these deals for these, there was a lot of vehicles we're buying here. I just want to make sure that we're offering to local vendors in our county first. I just don't, I want to make sure that.
I think they're,
You traditionally have to use anything with state contractors.
state contractor, I have to, yeah.
So some instances, I don't know if any are specifically local in Cumberland County, but there are some South Jersey ones. I know Vineland Auto Electric does a lot of the upfitting, so they have a state contract for doing a lot of the police vehicles, so they'll get the...
So if a local dealership wanted to get involved, they could contact us and we could just get them on the vendor list.
It's actually, they go to
As long as they're
state.
state.
Contact the state.
Contact the
get
state
on
to
their
get on their list. They would have-
Yeah.
Somebody asked me about that.
I questioned some of these vehicles, and I was told by Neil that a lot of the stuff that we buy now is actually not for today, not for tomorrow. This could be next year. That's how much everybody's backed up. You gotta get on a waiting list so we could have it. And our cargo vans are getting pretty much, Hudson County going back and forth. The prisoners are getting very high mileage. So, they don't have them in stock. It's gonna take about a year to get them. And a lot of this stuff we just ordering ahead of time.
We haven't upgraded the vans for the jail in a while. So actually, if anyone, they're behind in their purchase of vans. And plus, they're getting used a lot, so.
So the local vendors would have to get on the state vendors list and
Exactly.
then move into.
So any new automobile dealership in Cumberland County could become a state contractor if they went through the proper application process and were approved. So most certainly, that could be done if they wanted to do that. The company I see, I think is Gentilini, and I believe it's Cape May County.
It's
Towards Woodbine, yeah.
It's Cape May and Woodbine.
So, I did want to, I'll say this, John, we had looked over the vehicles, some of these vehicles that we have in surplus, some have, like, I think the last one was like 81,000 miles had on it, which to me, so we actually talked about have we developed a standard that there has to be a certain amount of mileage, we will take into account in what they do every day, to say that's mileage that beats the vehicle. So we are developing a standard, a years, and actually it suggested the years that 8 years is where your catalytic converter is out of warranty by the federal government. That would be a time frame and mileage to replace that vehicle, because one was 81,000, another one was like 102. I mean, that in today's day and age, that's nothing. So if we could, and then again, so we are going to create some standard, and there are exceptions. If there's an exception to it, we'll entertain that. But
And there was talk of perhaps saying that the vehicle, in order to go into surplus, unless there were particular reasons, it would be 8 years and 150,000 miles. That was the talk.
Yeah.
Those were the amounts that we were talking about, because
We made that decision?
you guys,
We're gonna make that
you would make that decision. There's no resolution that's pending now. It was just something that the director and I discussed, because we were a little surprised by the mileage of some of the vehicles that were being declared as surplus. There were 2 or 3 of these vehicles that were under 100,000 miles, and we were joking they were just getting broken in.
yeah, so we will, because we
Like-
need to. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, like 19 and 20, I'm gonna question that and take them off, because I wanna know what the background on them are. Each of those are worth about 21,000, and we're giving them up for 200.
That's what I'm.
And another one for 100. And as we were going through, I was looking at the value of each one of those, and we're talking about $44,000. So I'm gonna pull those off I look into them probably by tomorrow, and then I will decide if I wanna put them back,
No, it'll be off. It'll be on out of consent agenda. It'll be voted on. Just for your information, Tony, the number 19 is for the fire police. Lawrence Township's just a pass through. The fire police does works all over the county. They're a volunteer organization. We do give them, I think we went from $11,000 to $20,000 to help them with fuel. But the police department, anytime there's an accident in this county, they get called out. A volunteer group. We thought we should help them. Actually, one of their vehicles got, even though it had a police package, got run into from a guy not paying attention. That was after we said we would do one vehicle. So they were kind of The state police use them, actually, the state police use it the most, the Vile Police Department uses it the second most, and then the rest of the county uses them at whatever balance of time they have, but they're from all over the county. I thought if any organization that needs help, I think we should provide for that. But you,
Within last year,
But
we did
the
talk about.
the
Yeah.
proposed resolutions 14, 19, and 20, we will give the commissioners more information about, and we would say ahead of time that a couple of those vehicles are under 100,000
Yes.
miles.
Right.
But they are being proposed to be retired by the entity by the officer of the county that is controlling them. And some of them are, there are vehicles being purchased in their plates.
I just want to make sure it's not stuff that we could do something else for our purposes in the county, you know.
you're not so far off.
They're doing
so-
great things there, I want to know where they're going, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was actually, we've also talked about that it would actually be out of the hands of the division that's retired. If they don't want them, it gets handed to us. We decide if we're gonna retire, like what we're gonna do with them.
We just don't want this to get out of hand.
Yeah,
We want to know the mileage on him, you know, what, before he goes to a police department or a fire department. We want to, you know, what the responsibilities are going to be also once we give it to them, because, you know, a lot of them think that you give them a card and now you're still responsible for them. So we want it legally, they're going to have to handle that. But we would like to know where it's going, what's going, you know, why we getting rid of it, because we, you know, a lot of these vehicles, we're going back and spending $80,000 on another one, like the Tahoes, you know, so you're spending, you know, that's taxpayers' money. You're spending that kind of money, and then you, yes, we are gonna help Lawrence Township, we'll help Brixton, but we wanna know what.
well, you're right, Tony, that's what I'm saying, that we have no standard now, and that's what
We're creating it.
It got us talking about that we should have a standard, so that the car, when it's retired, we either have no use, or it could be used for another department. Fantastic. So you're absolutely right, we should be looking at this, so. All right.
There's an ongoing list of entities that would like to have surplus vehicles from us. Then there's exchange between the purchasing agent of the county and me. We keep the liaisons informed of that. The purchasing agent has a list of all of the vehicles in the county. If you look at a county vehicle, in the inside, usually driver's side door, there'll be a number in there. And on a couple of these resolutions, you'll see not only is there a VIN number, but there's an ID number for the car. It's the county ID number of the car. And so he keeps a very good record of those cars and what they are. And then an entity like the prosecutor says we want to retire this, sheriff says we want to retire this, and then it comes through this process.
Right.
So certainly, this board could say we think that car could go somewhere else, it could be used somewhere else if you wanted to.
Well, okay.
We just don't want to lose control.
Well, I think it's actually creating a situation where we're going to actually control it a little better than we have done in the past. That's maybe out of this something's come, but I think every one of these vehicles are going to good use. The city of police, I was told the city of Bridgeton has gotten vehicles from us before. It's the first one I think we're presenting to them. I guess their budget is actually. They know the value of the vehicle. That's why they're asking us for it. So
We just don't want to see Jeff Ridgway driving around in a $200 Tahoe.
I don't leave the building.
Or when we could donate to Doug Oldberg, you know.
yeah. Hey, I'm not missing my man. What are you talking about? All right, Tori, you have anything you want to pull off? Anything? Joe.
I just want to say, last Friday I went to the South Jersey Construction Summit over at Stockton State College. All the authorities from the counties, Arlington, Cumberland, Salem, and Cape May was there. Atlantic County was there. And they have some good projections for the year coming for different projects. They did speak about the wind turbines through rural development. there is a lot of pushback on that from many different companies, including the companies that are involved in the project themselves. They're not even sure about that. But most importantly, there are a lot of good projects. Ron is going to be doing more work in South Jersey, and I'm looking forward to that because that'll mean more development and good things coming to the town. So anyway, that's all I got to report this time.
All right, I want to pull these car loads off because what we just discussed, I'd like to discuss that next week, just how we make sure that we know what we're doing, why we're doing it, and for the future, what we're planning to understand it, to make sure that we, so that would be 14, 15, 14, 15.
14, 19, and 20.
Yeah, oh, well, also, I want to talk about 15 also, so. No, forget, leave 15 words, sorry about that.
No,
What did you say?
14, go ahead,
14,
Tony, what'd you
19,
say?
19,
14, 19, and 20.
Okay.
Okay.
And I need the information on the cargo vans that we are going to, this is what you're talking about, okay.
That's what I was saying. We'll get it out to all of you.
Okay.
Just bear with me a second here. Take 39 off, I want to make a comment about that, so. You already taken 54 off, right? Yeah, probably good.
54.
Yeah. Well, and 57 too, that's the Tahoes.
Right.
You said that,
Those are the purchases
yeah,
of the new vehicle?
yes.
Right. For the sheriff.
And then the next one is to upfit the vehicles.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna make a comment, it's not gonna be upheld, it's not gonna be held back, but it's a comment. Okay, yeah, I guess, and if you guys think of something you wanna, you have about a week to kind of let us know if you do wanna put something else out, so. All right, do we want to have open for public comment for any new business?
Need a motion?
We have a motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay, anybody have any new business they would like to discuss, or?
Good evening. Jennifer Webb McCrae, Cumberland County Prosecutor, City of Bridgeton. Two things. One, you declared and we celebrate June as Gun Safety and Violence Awareness Month. On Saturday, we are having a coffee with a cop at the Final Flea Market from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. All of the police agencies in the county will be participating. So we encourage anyone who would like to come out to come out. We have a lot of social service agencies that participate as well. We'll be discussing gun safety and violence awareness and the impact that gun violence has on our community. So that's the first thing. Second thing, with respect to the vehicles and state contracts. Is Mr. DeWitty here? He's not. So we just got our budget approved. We were attempting to buy Malibus, cars, some vehicles, and we cannot get them at this point. There's none on state contract. So I'm at this time choosing to get a few Jeep Grand Cherokees, which is what we can find on contracts. We much more prefer the Ford Explorers, but they are not available as well. And I know when we were looking for the vehicles, we even were calling Delaware, which they were on the state contract, but we can't get the vehicles. So it's putting us in a position of having, because we just got our budget, having to buy trucks now, because if we wait, there may be no vehicles that we can get, and then we, run the risk of losing money. On the discussion about retiring vehicles, I found over my 13 years at the prosecutor's office we try to get in a rhythm where we buy the same amount of vehicles each year, because we have a set budget. We want to buy the same amount of vehicles each year because it allows us, as they age, to project what the repair costs will be as well. So that has to be factored into the equation, whatever it is, in relation to what is the recommended time period to retire vehicles. I have always heard that police are harder on vehicles. They use them in different ways than we do as the general public, and I think that needs to be factored in as well. But the state contract for vehicles is just very tricky right now, and I'm not sure if it's because citizens are buying more vehicles and they can get more money with the upgraded packages, but it's become very hard to get the vehicles. And I just felt like if I waited and didn't buy a few trucks right now, we would maybe not be able to buy anything and not use the money by the end of the year. So that's why we elected to get those trucks right now.
I just want to say the prosecutor's office does have a fleet management system. They do stay on top of it. So I'm not, the comments we made probably don't really reflect on you. And I know when you're buying it, there's a reason, you have a cycle about it. So we appreciate that. Maybe it could be adopted more countywide, but you actually have a person that concentrates on it. So I know when you're buying a vehicle, there's a purpose. And I do know that the shortage, and it's mostly chips that are the problem, but the whole parts chain is a problem. Cars can't get finished to be built, to be put out there. So
I just want it on record, my preference would be to buy more cars because we can get more cars at a better price. They're just not available right now. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to work on that for you. I have somebody that will talk.
Good evening. Helen Elwell from Upper Deerfield. I stopped out at the Extension Center today out on Norton Avenue. That had been my home for 40 years. And so I stopped out to see the renovations. I had been there back in April when everything was piled up and they were waiting for the furniture to arrive and so forth. There's a different feel in the building, naturally. I can't say that I liked it, but if it's functioning and it's doing the job of what needs to be done, that's a different matter. However, there is one office in there that is supposed to be an office for one of the agents. I don't know which agent. The office, it's very distressing. You go in there for where they're trying to work in there. The noise level in there is bad. They took out a lot of the noisy equipment that was in there previously, and there's still something hanging on the wall. I don't know what it is, but it's lots of wires. And that piece of equipment, that whatever's still in there, buzzes and hums. If I had to work in there, you would have to take me to a mental hospital, because that would drive me nuts. It's distressing to think that somebody might be in that situation where they have to work in that environment. It's not fair to the individual. You can't work in that. So I would ask that you would do something to check it out and see what can be done about it. You know, it's part of a large renovation.
I'm there pretty often. Which office is it?
When you go back through the name of the office, it's down, it's the office on the right.
Isn't there a system?
I can tell you the name of the employee.
Yeah.
I have been talking with, and Matt is here also.
I was gonna say, he's sitting right there.
We have been working on this on Friday afternoon. I worked on this. I can show you a picture of the offending machine on my phone that was sent to me by Matt this morning. Okay, we are on that, and the latest proposal on Friday afternoon is to box that box in with a sort of soundproof double layer of drywall, and to box that in and put a doorway into the hallway and take a little bit of space away from the office, but it will and you're gonna have to put what's called a fan over top of it, like we call it a milk carton fan, on top to vent the box and put it in this wall, and then there'll be a door into the hallway so that the item can be serviced. That's what's proposed. Now we have to see the price. This is a project that was done by the CCIA.
Exactly, and they had a lot of money.
And that box was put where it was, and somebody could take you to another room and show you a place on the wall where it could have been easily placed, and that's a whole nother story. Right now, we want to address the problem.
Yes, because the individual can't work in that situation.
Right, and I'll tell you what his name is, but I don't want to necessarily put it on record.
I know what his name is.
I know he's a private kind of person.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's willing to work with whatever has to be done. But he's, no matter whether he's there or any of you are working in there, you can't work in that environment.
Well, as Commissioner Rhodes has said, she's been there, I've been there, fully aware of it, working on it. Even talked to a private friend to make sure that the proposal that was being made was within reason, and they told me that it was, so we're working on it.
And it's saying, because I've been over, I was showed that office when I got my first tour when it was completed, so I'm aware of what you're talking about, and I was told at the time, I thought we were kind of in transition to do something about it, which I'm just hearing now. So I just want to say that you mentioned the atmosphere. Actually, going into that building originally, because I was liaison to the 4-H, I feel that I actually do love the atmosphere that's in there, because I feel energy because the whole purpose of this is to rejuvenate the 4-H, to make it from where it is to where it could go. And I see constant movement. I like to see what's going on, and I think bringing planning over there and tourism, it's really kind of brought some, hey, there's some ideas, things going on, what are we doing next? So I hope that it's different for you, but I hope in the end, actually, it rubs off and it's better.
I hope so too, because we had it was more like a family atmosphere before, and today going in, it felt more industrial to me.
All right, well,
and as I said, changes happen.
Changes happen.
But the main concern there is that the working space allows people to do their jobs.
Which we're going to address.
They can do what they need to do.
Okay, but I hope down the road that I would love you to come to the podium and say, hey, I got down the road that it's actually working. It's a little different, but maybe it'll come together, because everybody there is relatively new, working together, different departments, but really we're meshing everything together at once. So hopefully we'll come together.
Well, I'll stop back there next month and see how the progress is.
Okay. Then report over there. So.
I will.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anybody online? Hearing nobody. I did the motion to close this public part comment period.
Second.
All in favor? I did add something new to the agenda now, that Commissioner comments, we do it on once, and I'll tell you why I added to it. It's not just to make comments of things, events, or whatever you guys want to make a comment on, but to have, sometimes people have asked us to make issues, to make sure we're supposed to have dialogue during this work session. And it was Commissioner Pearson brought up an incident about a child or someone that got hit by a vehicle, and I knew nothing about it. And I thought and she believes that we should do something, which things have started. We actually are trying to do something. That comments, if there's something that you feel strongly about, or you see, maybe it doesn't fit into the mold, but maybe it would be nice to be brought up to this board at this time, and then you guys, maybe there's another commissioner who can say, hey, wait a minute, I have an idea. If you want to just tell the incident, and then we can elaborate on it real quick.
Sure, this is a surprise, so I want you to know that.
I always like surprise you.
I appreciate that being raised. I think most people know that there was a little girl, I believe it was Moniz, who was struck at Wawa, at the intersection on 49. And, okay, hold on, I'm sorry. In Bridgeton. And they took her off like a couple of weeks ago. And I think the impact is that the minute she was hit, I know most of us here, the phones blow up. I told you it was dangerous. That intersection is not good. What's wrong? Why can't you all fix it? But I think the major impact happened when I sat next to her granduncle at an event, and I didn't know, and he was just explaining that he was there when the life supports were removed. And there, the concern is what can be done to make that a safer place. We want the industry, we want the business. Wawa is everybody's go-to place, but it's a deep curve, dangerous crossing for pedestrians. There's a hill coming from Broad Street. It's very tricky. And the suggestion was to sit down with the state. It's a state road. We always get, well, it's a state road, it's not my problem. It's a county road, it's not my problem. It's a city street, it's not my problem. But it doesn't solve the problem. So having talked to the director and also reached out and just happened to talk to the assemblyman, there's a way we want to sit down and have that three-way meeting with the state, the city, and the county. Roads, all roads cross. It intersects right here regardless of what it is. So hopefully we'll be able to have that. Temporarily, the county has put up a wonderful sign as you make the curve going into town saying slow down, pedestrian crossing. And I do believe the city has put a sign going out that just says slow down, but that's a sign nonetheless. But again, I think those are some of the issues that we need to be talking about as a county, as a city, and as a state. And fortunately, hopefully that will be happening soon. We can't fix everything, but sometimes just making that effort to alleviate the pressure and the issue goes a long way.
And as you see, and someone has made a comment tonight, we're looking outside at how it affects our county, and you see some of the resolutions that we're taking a stance on. We say, and we will like the idea of SODAR, that we're going to look up at this, not keep our head down, but look up to how it affects and what we should be tackling. There's no issue, and you see the shared service agreements we've made. The townships are in it, we're in it, the cities are in it. We're all, and I left the mayor's conference there, they just saying we're a team. So we got to operate as a team, and sometimes it's not us, but it is us. And so Commissioner Pearson, what she said, I appreciate, and we will try to figure out what we can do there, because it is dangerous, because the Wawa is closer to that bend, and people do walk down that hill and going across the road. It's tough because people are moving. So I'll just say, Mr. Capizol, do you have any comments to make, or?
I'll say
Okay. Ms. Lloyd.
To this issue?
No, to anything.
Well, I made a statement earlier, so.
Yeah. All right. You're welcome. I just feel that we're not gonna shy away from anything. We're gonna try to tackle it. Maybe we don't have the solution, but maybe we have enough people in this room to have some expertise that can come to bear. I just want to kind of elaborate real quick. We are the jail issue. We are proceeded with. You don't hear anything about it. We are moving. They're not yards, but they're steps. But we are on a path. And the commissioners will, once we decide what's going to be done, we're going to talk about it. You will know. We are looking at the middle mile project. We have been doing our due diligence. We've been meeting with people, trying to get a handle on this. And we have nothing to report. We just have been going and talking with people, listening to people, and trying to make sure that we do the right step, the right move. They were 1 and 2 projects. The third, Nab Avenue project, which is a crucial economic development project in this county, is proceeding. All the partners, it's really kind of neat because It encompasses two townships, a city, the county, working together and to see if we could pull this off, including the assemblymen and senators working with us to get this key road done. A project that was written up in 2012. We would be done it if we did it at that time, but it's projected to be a 5-year project. We've already figured out how we're going to cut at least 1.5 to 2 years off the project. But we also have to look to get money for it, and we're working on that. So it all ties to the airport, it ties to sewer and water, it ties to the middle mile, and it has all the elements involved in that project. I guess do we have a...
I actually do have one more comment.
Okay.
I believe on June 2nd, I was remiss for not saying this earlier, but on June 2nd, we did lose one of our county employees at the Department of Social Services, Tanya Rodriguez. She had worked in the call center for the last 14 years. And I know I'm sure we lose county employees all the time, but there was an overwhelming emotional reaction to her loss in the department. And I know we've been working really closely lately with those employees, so I just wanted to see if we could have a moment of silence for her.
Thank you.
That's good. Thank you. I should. We had the kite festival just recently in our fairgrounds, and it was very successful. It was sold out in Cumberland County, and walking around it was a good event, a very happy event. And I have to commend our planning staff, our tourism staff. They worked hard. People there had only good things to say about Cumberland County, why they came over here to have that event, and it actually gave me a lot of ideas of how our parks should be shaped in the future, because they just use it the way I see our parks being used. I also ventured over to the 4-H. We're having a horse riding at the same time, the same place, the same area, and they were having a good event at the same time. So it was actually I got to talk with some of them too. Some of our planning includes some of the things they do elsewhere, which was kind of nice that when we look at our plan, maybe they incorporate some of those things that would help them have a longer season, I guess, of riding. So it was really just a good day out, all in all there. And then there were several other events during the weekend. I'm sure every one of us has been to so many events this weekend, but that's the one that sticks out in my mind. All right, do we have an executive session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Resolution 2023-392, resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Senator Byron M. Baer Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. Matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege. Matters relating to employment relationship.
Can I have a motion?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Capizola?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
Yes.
Was there a motion?
Oh, I motion second, sorry.
Well, that's why I asked. All right. Are we going in your area?
Yes.
And it's not anticipated there would be action after.
There will or not?
It is not anticipated.
Do you want to stay here or do you want to go?
We can go to our area.
I have everything back.
All right, we're actually for future, and when we do this, and we do have action, we're actually have a new place where we can talk, and you guys can hang out here, and we can come back, so you don't have to stand out in the hallway or wherever you guys go. But so we created something. So thank you. So.